Hi friends, let us talk about a small research tool which helps you a lot while doing research. When you want some literature on a specific topic, you will go to the library. When you go to the library, you have to search the library catalog, you have to search the online journals, you have to search the print journals, you have to search Google, you have to search many such sources. Among online journals itself, there are many publishers, and each journal database you will have to go and search. We are all happy with Google because it's a plain background, white background with a small text box. You type anything, you get enough and more answers there. You are very happy. Suppose you want to know the meaning of a word, just type it, you will get it. You wanted to know about the rates for flight tickets, whatever it is, information, the moment you ask, you will get it quickly. You need not go many places. But in a libraries like situation, when you go there and ask for something, you have to go to many places. Institutional repository, the thesis collection. So many places you will have to go. But if there is a single search place where you can get almost all these things, you will be very happy. So the software which I am going to introduce to you is of the same nature. It will help you to find out literature. I am not saying full text, but the availability of the full text literature will be known to you from this software. It searches almost 140 million documents and brings to you scholarly literature on the topic that you are searching. This is one important thing. The same software will help you to save all these references. Whatever you are selecting and found useful for you, it will get selected there. And it gets saved. Later on, you can generate a bibliography out of that. Initially, while you start doing the research work, we cannot call it as a bibliography, but it's a reading list. From the reading list, you will identify which are the good items, bad items, unwanted items. You can remove them like that. You can make a reading list in the beginning. When we start doing research work, we will collect lot of PDF files. Absolutely, there is no hesitation. We will collect as many as possible. But the problem is, we will keep some of them in our pen drive, some of them in our CD-ROM, some in our hard disk, some will be there in your email. Like that, it gets scattered all over. As you know, a digital document can be identified only if it is open. Otherwise, it needs descriptors. Librarians call it as metadata. So, if they are available at different hardwares like the pen drive and the CD-ROM and hard disk, at the time of writing, you won't get any of them. It will be very difficult for you to identify these items. So you need a place, and moreover, all these gadgets are vulnerable to damage. Very easily they may get damaged. A slight surge of current or any other little bit, it falls in water, means your pen drive is gone and you cannot make use of it later on. So you need a place where you can keep all these PDF files. More than that, you should be able to retrieve them when you want it. So you need some space which is safe. The software allows you to almost 2 GB space where you can save all these PDF files. It's a very good advantage. You can save it. You need not go to emails, you need not go to CD-ROM, anywhere. You just go to that software and search with the keyword. You will get the item which you have saved. So it's a very easy method of retrieving items when you want it. At the time of writing, you may need all this literature. And moreover, you can arrange them or organize them in folders. Like for chapter 1, chapter 2, like that, you can arrange them and later on identify them very easily. So this is a very good method of arranging or organizing your references. So as I told you, it is a software which helps you in searching almost everything on a topic of research. It allows you to save the references. It allows you to retrieve when it is required. It allows you to organize them in a proper manner. Now, when you start writing, you will be adopting content from various sources. When you take content from other sources, it is your duty to provide citation and references. Otherwise, people will say that you have plagiarized. To avoid the blame of plagiarism, you have to provide in-text citation within the text, and the full details of the document at the end of the write-up or the report. We call it as bibliography or list of references. But when you do it, you have to follow certain international protocols or standards. We call it as standards. Some of them you are aware: APA, American Psychological Association, Modern Language Association, Chicago Manual, IEEE, Nature. These are all various styles, international styles adopted for formatting the references as well as the research reports. You have to follow them. Otherwise, most of the journals will not accept your research articles. So to do that, if you do it manually, naturally you will commit a mistake. To err is human. There will be a missing of a comma, a colon, or an underlining, or something or the other you will miss, and the standard is lost. What you can do is you can depend on softwares, and this particular software which I am going to introduce you helps in the formatting of references according to international standards, APA, MLA, all those things. So it's very easy, and it also allows you to cite while you write. When you are writing itself, you can cite it. So you will not forget to cite. If you forget to cite, naturally there will be a blame later on. So to avoid that, cite while you write option is also available. Another important thing is the software also find out similar literature when you select a particular item. You select one item and ask the software to search for similar items. It will bring a lot of literature related to that, the one that you have selected. This way also it is there. And moreover, it allows you to tag, update the bibliographic details based on the publisher's website. The software will bring the entire metadata or description from the publisher's website and keep it for you ready. There will be the abstract. After reading the abstract, you can identify whether it is required or not. And this also allows you to open PDF files, save PDF files. You can read them. You don't need another Adobe Reader like software to open PDF files. This is the advantage of this particular software. So what is the software? The name of the software is Mendeley, and it's a product of the famous publisher Elsevier. Earlier it was free, later on Mendeley was taken up by Elsevier. Even now also it is free, but the problem is you will get 2 GB space only. If you want more space, you will have to pay for it. That's all. Otherwise it is still remaining free. So now let us see how we can join Mendeley and make use of it. To create an account in Mendeley, you have to go to the browser and type in www.mendeley.com www.mendeley.com. You can see the interface of Mendeley website, the home page of Mendeley, and here it says create a free account. We can click on it. Then it will ask for the user's email ID. So I am just giving an email ID. And click on continue button. Then it will ask your profile details, your given name, what it is. So now family name, here, and password. And here there is an option stay signed, not recommended for shared data. If you are working on a public device, public computer, don't use it. Otherwise you can keep this always on and click on register option. So it says you now have an Elsevier account and entity to Mendeley. Again it may ask some questions. What is your current role? What are you? So I will say a librarian. Field of study, I will say something called computer science, because library science is not there, and make the profile public, and then continue to Mendeley. You are in Mendeley now. You have got an email ID and password registered with the Mendeley. So this is an online account. But when you enter into Mendeley, it will offer you a small desktop software. It is here. Get Reference Manager. It's a small software that can be downloaded and installed in our system. So what I will do is I will just download it. So it is about 53 MB in 54.7 MB in size. It gets downloaded now. What this software will do is it will get installed in our system, and then we can use from our system and search for literature, save it. You can use for many things, and then later on when you stop working, you can just click on the sync button so that everything gets uploaded into your online facility. What is the meaning of it? It means your research can be done from any place because it is available online. The moment you open your Mendeley in your desktop from anywhere, if the system is connected to the internet, everything gets downloaded to that system. So your mobility is added. You can go to any place and add these things. That is the importance of having a desktop client as well as an online account. Because of that, you go anywhere, you can continue with the research work. Now it is getting downloaded. Let us install Mendeley. Click on this downloaded exe file. It is asking for permission. Say yes. Click on next. I agree. You are agreeing to the end user license agreement, and it says the software will get installed in this particular folder. Click on install. You can see that the software is getting installed into your system. Now here there is an option for run Mendeley desktop, and when you click finish, the software will come up. Now you have to give your username and password. So this is the interface of Mendeley. We'll maximize it, and you can see. So here you can see the menu buttons: file, edit, view, tools, help, and below some menu items are there. Here there is a window with some commands. Here there is another one which is for tags, and this is the reference library. And here comes the metadata details. We'll do it one by one. So first option is this software helps you to search for literature. So here the option is here, literature search. You click on that. So all of a sudden here comes a small text box where you have to type in the keyword. So I am just typing information literacy. And press enter key. You can see that 51,117 items have got downloaded. Never expect that these are full text items. They are only bibliographic details or reference details. But when you click on one item, on the right hand side you will get the details of that item. Means it's metadata, the complete metadata. Sometimes it may not be. For example, here if you look at it, it is a journal article, but year, volume number, issue number, certain things are missing. So if that is the case, what you have to do is you come down, catalog ID is there, or DOI is here, and here on the right hand side there is a lens like structure. You click on it, it searches for the details, and you are getting the entire detail updated. Here you can see volume number, issue number, even the abstract also has come out. So this way you can easily get the metadata, updated metadata from the publisher's website you will get. So it's a journal article from the International Journal of Library and Information Services, published in the year 2019, volume number 8, issue number 1, and the page numbers are 49 to 60. You can read the abstract and identify whether it is required or not. If you want it, what you can do is you can just click on this save reference option. When you click it, you can see here there is a blue tick mark has come. This way you can, here also when you come over here you can see that there is an option add to library. If you click, the same blue tick mark will come. That also you can do. But what will happen is, see here also the information is incomplete. Again you have to go for lookup. Yes, it has got updated. Similarly, you have to read the entire thing, the abstract at least, and then identify whether it is useful or not. So if you find that it is good, you can click on the save button. Same way you can continue. Yeah, this also is good. Information and digital literacy. No renaming information literacy. Again it's good. So again go back to this DOI and click on it. Yes, it is getting updated. SCONUL 7 pillars. Again, it's a definition for information literacy. You can update it. Yes. So this way you can select items from the Mendeley. What are the search output? And you are updating the metadata by clicking the lookup. Actually, it goes to the publisher's website and bringing it the details. Now comes there. Once this much you have done, what you can do is come down. This is only 25 out of the 51,170. That means still a lot of things are there. You have to identify. Again, I have selected one more. What you have to do is click on the load more options. Load more results. So again another set of 25 will come out. Out of that you have to select again items which are useful like this. So this way you can gather a lot of information about these items. In certain cases you won't be getting the DOI. So what you can do is you can go to Google by typing the keyword as well as the name of the author in Google. If you search, you may get the DOI. You can copy it here and then look for, you will get the full metadata. That way you can update it. Here also it is not there. Yeah, but the DOI is there. It gets updated. So this way you can continue searching for information about the availability of literature. A lot of things you can search like this. So it's a very good option to identify literature which is suitable for your research. You have tick mark, that means you have saved the references. But where you will get all these things together? Click on this all documents. So whatever you have selected there are now visible here. And they are arranged properly. You won't believe. If you go here, view as library as citations, you can see that they are formatted according to American Psychological Association and is available here. Anyway, we will go for the listing library as a table. It's okay. So this is how you have to search for literature. Now in literature search, there is another option here. When you click on this small lens here, there are options. Author, you can click on author, title, year, all those things, and then click on open access. Say yes, and again search for it. It says nothing is available on open access. We will go for something different. Titles, we will put India. Yes, it says something about financial literacy, financial information literacy in India and Germany. Some comparison is very good. Mental health literacy is a different thing. ICT enabled rural India. Information literacy model for higher education institutes in India. So, like that, you will get a lot of materials you can identify. Then when you come here, again those things will be here. This way, you can create a huge list of references. Now what is happening is, this you wanted to make a bibliography. What you have to do is, just follow me, click on one item, then press Ctrl and A. Ctrl and A means select all, then right click, copy as formatted citation. So you get all these things copied into the memory of the computer. Now what you have to do is open MS Word. So I am going to open MS Word. And I am just pasting what I have copied from there. See, it's a huge list of references related to the topic information literacy, and you won't believe it is according to APS type, formatted according to APS. Since the list is prepared prior to the research, we call it as a reading list. So this is how we make the reading list using Mendeley. Now let us see how we can organize references in Mendeley. Suppose you have some 5 references out of this for your chapter 1 and another 5 for your chapter 2. How will you organize it? For that, what you have to do is come to this area. Here there is a button called Create Folder. Click on it and then type chapter 1. Click outside. Again, you can click the Create Folder option. Chapter 2. So like that, you create 2 folders where you can keep the 5 items here. For example, I will go to all documents. I select 1. Press your Ctrl key, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then you drag and drop them into chapter 1. When you click here, you can see the 5 items are there in chapter 1. Similarly, again go to all documents, select some items like this, drag them and drop into chapter 2. Yes, it has come. So this way you can organize the references. Chapter 1, chapter 2, any number of items you can just create and keep them organized. This is one method of doing it. There is another method of tagging the references. For example, suppose you click this and here there is an option called tags. You say, I need it for my objective 1. To explain my objective 1, I need this reference. So you type OBJ1. Then go to another item, type again, this is also required for my OBJ1. So you have tagged 2 items under OBJ1. Now this is useful for objective 2. Select one more item and say that it is required for OBJ2. I am selecting one more item, the last one, for OBJ2. So this way we have tagged some of the references as OBJ1 and OBJ2. Now to identify them, here in the tags column, click here and there is something called the My Tags. After that, select OBJ1. All those which are tagged as OBJ1 will be available here. When you click on OBJ2, another set of 3 will come. This way, you can tag the references and organize them in a particular way. Now let us see how we can use Mendeley for citations and references. As I told earlier, citations and references are helpful in avoiding the blame of plagiarism. So usually we use MS Word for writing our research reports or formatting our research reports. So this software, Mendeley, allows you to download a small plugin which gets attached to Mendeley MS Word and helps us in cite while we write. So let us do that. First, what you have to do is click on the tools option. Below that there is something called install MS Word plugin. Click on it. A message like this will come. It says plugin is installed. You can work on it. Click OK. Now what we have to do is we have to open MS Word. So here, if you look at the various tabs in the ribbon of commands, when you click on references, something new has been added here. This group of commands is new, Mendeley Cytomatic, which is not commonly found in the MS Word. This will appear only when you install that plugin. So this helps you to insert citations as well as create a bibliography. Let us do that. For that, what I have done is I have created an article. I have written an article. I have to insert citations as well as bibliography. Let us open that document. File, open. So this is the document. Here you can see that this red colored area is actually verbatim copying. Verbatim copying means copying as such. And this is again verbatim copying, but the number of words are above 40. In this case, it is a paraphrased content. Paraphrased content means you read the content from the source document, assimilate it, you know yourself about what it is being told, then you write it in your own language. That is called a paraphrase. Similarly, there is a summarized text. Summarized text means you read the content in a larger way and then you write it in a minimal way. That is called summarizing. So these are the four methods by which we will adopt content from other sources. So let us start citations and inserting citations. This verbatim copying, if it is below 40 words, you can just continue in the running text. There is no need of any changes. But what you have to do is you have to put inverted commas in the beginning and at the end. Then you have to provide the citation. So how to provide citation using Mendeley? You have to go to references and click on insert citation. You do not know where exactly it is. All of a sudden, a dialog box like this will come. You have to click on go to Mendeley. It will take you to Mendeley. Identify the document from all documents which you have already there and select and say that it is from this. Select the item. Then on the top there is an option called cite. Click on it. You can see that the citation has been inserted very well. Now go to this. Here there is a paragraph which is again verbatim copying, but the number of words are more than 40. If it is more than 40, it cannot go along the running text. It should be away from the margin. 0.5 inches away from the margin. That is what the standard says. But you also have to provide inverted comma at the beginning and end. Then provide the citation. So again go to insert citation, go to Mendeley, identify the item, click on that and then click on the cite button. All of a sudden you can see that it has come there. This is the third content, which is again a paraphrased text. As I told you earlier, paraphrased means you are using your own language to explain the concept. It's not your idea is not yours, but you are writing in your own language what you have understood. So it doesn't need inverted commas. That is the importance, because you are writing in your own language. But you need to provide citations. So click here. If you know the name, you can just type in here, but since you are not remembering the names, you can go directly there. Okay, this is my article, and then click on the cite button. It will bring in the in-text citation, and finally the summarized text. In this case, if for example I will just check a name, Bowden. So in this case we will say insert citation and Bowden, B-A-W. When you type B-A-W itself, the item comes, select it, click OK. See, it has been inserted. This way you can insert the citation. This is called cite while you write. Now what is pending? You need a list of the list of references or bibliography. Here is the option. Click on it. It is providing you the bibliography. Type references or bibliography, whatever you want. Your list of references is created. You can make it bold or yeah. You can see that it is properly formatted. That is the importance. What is the style that has been used? You can see here it is American Psychological Association style. Now click here and say I don't want this, I want Modern Language Association. So everything got changed according to Modern Language Association. And sometimes we may say no, I don't want this, I want some other style like IEEE. So it is a numbered style. You can see here the numbers are appearing. This way you can provide citations and create a bibliography in a research article. Mendeley also helps you to add PDF files that you have collected from various publishers. Sometimes your peer researchers may send you emails with an attachment of PDF file you may download from many places. Your guide may give you. So like that you gather a lot of PDF files and you need a place where you can upload and keep it safe. So Mendeley is helpful for that. So how we can do it? In my desktop I have 3 to 4 articles downloaded on the concept of information literacy. It is available there. So what I can do is we have to go to the file. There is an option called add files. So you have to go to the desktop, find out where the article is. Yes, here there is one article, here there is another one, and where is the other one? Yes, this is another one. So these are the 3 articles which I have downloaded. What I will do is I will select one item and click on the open button. You can see that the article has already been added there. Now, as I told you earlier, this can be used as a reader. So just click on this, the PDF files opens in your account. This way you can use Mendeley as a PDF reader, and you know how to add the PDF files into your system. Now another option is there whereby without you knowing it, the items get downloaded into your Mendeley. Right click, new button, click on folder, say it is my master folder or my folder, whatever this name is not an issue. And then tell Mendeley by going to tools, options, under master folder, under desktop, you click here, your master folder will be there. Click on this and see it is on the desktop master folder. Click OK. You can see again one more time. Yeah, it is there. And click OK. Correct. So it has been identified as a master folder. Now what happens is you have to tell the system, the browser, to download everything into that folder. That's what you can do. But it's better to avoid that because all junk will get added to Mendeley. So what you can do is after downloading it, you can drag and drop into your watch folder. Here I have the 2 articles. I am just selecting these 2 and just dragging and dropping into these 2 into the watch folder. Now let us see whether those 2 are now added there. This way the folder will act as a place where you accommodate whatever you want to put into your Mendeley desktop. Very important facility, and it helps you to organize things in a very systematic manner. And what you can do is now you can click on the sync button. When you click on the sync button, you can see that everything is getting uploaded to the internet. This way you can organize your PDF files also, and up to 2 GB you can upload these PDF files in your It's very easy. See, you can see all these have been uploaded into the website, the online account. So during this lecture, you have learned what is Mendeley, how it can be used for searching literature, how you can update the metadata, how you can organize them in various folders, how can you tag them, later on how Mendeley can be used for citing as well as creating a bibliography, then how folders can be how articles can be added to Mendeley, and how you can create a reading list, and how a watch folder will work in Mendeley. These are all the basic functions of Mendeley, but still many utilities are there with Mendeley. You can use it very well. There is something called a Mendeley web importer is there, which is again a plugin. When you install it, it will remain in the browser, and whenever you find an item, just click on it. It will add all the metadata into your Mendeley system. So these are all very basic details. So just try and make use of it. It will allow you to organize your research work in a very systematic way. Hope this session was helpful to you. Thank you for watching all this time. Thank you.